and working with objects, cooking objects and sculpture and carving stone. Those are very early as well. But drawing is one of our primal things. We look at that in the caves, right? We started our book with that, one of those images. So charcoal, here was Seurat using charcoal in 1887. Charcoal, again, with soot and grease. That was very primitive, and that was put in the caves. So it goes way back. Charcoal is used quite commonly. This is a beautiful piece. It has some illuminating effects, partly because I think this is on that transparent paper. It's really luminous, gorgeous piece. So this is 3 Mile Island at night, and this is just charcoal, and the white is the paper. So she was very careful. Yvonne Jacquet here is very careful to leave these areas very clean and then go really heavy where the water and the shadows are. Okay, but beautiful rendition, very powerful image just in the black and white. And this is a modern image, 1982. So liquid media is pen and ink. So this does not fall under painting. It's kind of confusing, but that is where it stays because it's black, basically. We get into colorings in Chapter 7. It's a little bit different area, but you want to stick with drawing. This is a liquid media of drawing. So it's fine particles suspended in water, and it is somewhat of charcoal and soot and ash with gum arabic. It's kind of different recipes exist for ink. Again, Chinese worked very early with ink. Ink's been around a long time. Brush and ink. You can make a wash, and you can also do just use the brush straight out. Raymond Pettibon, he's a really interesting character. He did a lot of punk rock album covers back in the 70s, 80s. And he really works quickly. He's still alive today working. Works very quickly with a brush. He's one of the few people doing this in this way. There's some lighter areas. You can see how it's more watered down ink, darker areas with ink. This is kind of interesting because it's almost like palm trees in California, and it's sort of almost like a gay cruising image, but then again, it looks like a struggle. You can read about this more in the book. It's a very interesting piece. But he's working with just pen and ink. He's drawing with it. Okay. Collage, French word for pasting and gluing. This was pioneered by Picasso and Braque. They were sort of studio mates. They were very good friends. And this particular piece is George Braque. And then we're going to look at Romare Bearden from the book. So at this point with the Industrial Revolution, this comes into play where there's a lot of stuff left over every day. Newspapers, what do you do with them after the daily news is read? It's garbage. Little pieces of wallpaper. So he's drawing, and then he's incorporating some of this detritus that he's finding and cutting out some imagery. So this is where this begins. You see this very common in the art world, using some newspaper and other items like this in art. But he invented it, he and Picasso, collage. All right, Romare Bearden takes it to another level. There's a background here and a foreground with these larger images. He's got a wee bit of color in here. So he's cutting out from magazines as well as newspapers, and he's making some cultural statements. I'm about to run out of time, so I'm not going to go too far into that. Visual paper is a medium. This is cut up paper that's quite stiff, and she's making a sculpture out of it. Okay, that's it.